Real quick before I get started, if I could, anybody that is currently or did serve in the military at any time, please stand. Anybody that's current or prior military? Thank you. The reason I bring this up is because a lot of people don't even know currently that we have organizations in the military specifically that target military riders and military members on our installations. Oops, wrong button. I know Kenneth had a photo of himself up there riding earlier today. I thought I had to get one in of myself. I was very privileged, if you want to call it that, to spend 2 tours overseas in Iraq, and like most of us, we'll find any reason to ride, so I had to get out there and get a photo taken. But basically, the Green Knights Military Motorcycle Club, our mission is to address the needs and concerns of military, as well as Department of Defense civilian riders through education, safety knowledge, and the shared joy of riding. We all love to ride. Back in 1999, the Green Knights Military Motorcycle Club was actually started at McGuire Air Force Base up in New Jersey. It was started by a group of riders simply because they love to ride. They got involved with the safety office on base to see how they could help. And eventually, over 13, 14 years, we've actually grown to the largest club of our kind anywhere in the world. We honestly have chapters in Germany, England, Ireland, all over the world. So we're very fortunate as far as that. And we've actually become the pattern, especially for the Air Force, for how a safety organization on a base should be run. We actually fulfill the Air Force's requirements for a safety organization on every Air Force installation that has the capability to have one. Currently, our membership is open to active duty, Guard, Reserve, DoD civilians, dependents, as well as retired military. So we do incorporate a large group of people that will actually interact with the United States military. And the question was posed at lunch, and I want to clarify that a little bit. Who's here heard of the Blue Knights? I know we got some motorist guys in the back. Red Knights? Okay, a couple of them, firefighters. Anybody heard of the Green Knights before today? 1 or 2. I know we got a chapter down in Killeen, so I'm sure you guys have heard of them. Green Knights was actually formed, like I said, for military, and that's where we actually get the green. We patterned it off of the blue and the Red Knights to mimic the green of our uniforms. Obviously, nowadays, things have changed a little bit. Air Force has kind of gone to some funky colors. Navy, if they fall off a ship, nobody's going to see them in their camouflage, so we still keep with the green. As Patty mentioned earlier, we do have over 110 chapters worldwide. Currently, as of today, we're at 112. We just recently opened up a couple of chapters. We actually had another organization come and join us out of Louisiana. Of those 112, 9 are currently in Texas. We are the most active area for the Green Knights, and we are hoping within the next couple of months to have a 10th chapter opened up in the Dallas area. I'll go over where those chapters are actually at in case any of you wants to seek them out for a little bit more information. But like I said, we also do have some of our international partners. We do have chapters that work with us, especially in Europe. We have the Royal Air Force, Irish Defence Forces, the militaries of Belgium, and as well as the Canadian Security Forces. Basically, our organization is broken up into 4 different sections. Safety is paramount for all of us. Like I said, we were started as a safety organization, which is why we're here today to talk to you guys. We will take new riders on base. If they've never ridden, bring them into our organization. We don't care what you ride, as long as you ride. We talked about 3-wheelers earlier. 2 wheels, doesn't matter. I've seen some places where we have 49cc scooters, Vespas out there with us. But if they can keep up, by all means. If not, we'll slow down. Basically, we want anybody to come out with us. We really do not discriminate. Within that safety mind frame, we want to be able to mentor them. We want them to come to us, hey, I don't know how to do this. Can you take me out and show me? A lot of our guys are rider coaches. We even have one of our members who goes up to other bases to teach rider course instructors up there. And we have a lot of our guys that seek out additional training. I know we've got a couple of guys that have gone to motor officers. We have some law enforcement that are also reserve military, so they'll come and teach courses for us. So the big thing for that is we want to make sure that everybody's riding safe, riding with us, and we want to be able to help them out as they ride. As with the military, we've seen a lot of people help us out, especially since the global war on terrorism. A lot of people have needed help, so we would like to help out as much as we can. So we really push charity. I know some of the members I have here are from different areas around Texas. We have done charity rides for the Fisher House, having to do with the military members injured overseas. Currently, out in San Antonio, they're helping out with a a car show that'll benefit the Warrior Transition Battalion at Fort Sam Houston. The charity for these organizations, honestly, it humbles me as much as they are willing to do to go out of their way to help people. And that's one of the things I think builds this club up as one of the best ones, is the community of the people that we have. We're always willing to go out and help each other, always willing to go out and go for a ride. I know some of these guys have ridden all over the state to get here just for this. Some of these people I've ridden all the way across the country with sometimes. We have meetings all over the country. So it's good to see that sense of community built around the safety and mentorship of our organization. I mentioned we do have currently 9 chapters here in Texas. I have some of those representatives here. From Chapter 4, I do have 2 individuals from Lackland Air Force Base. If you guys could stand up in case anybody would like to talk to the San Antonio guys, they're right here. All right, Chapter 47, unfortunately I don't have anybody here from them, but at Fort Sam Houston, also in the San Antonio area. Shepherd had a good turnout. If I could get you guys to stand up for me, please. Up at Wichita Falls, Shepherd Air Force Base. Ellington Field, Dyess Air Force Base, and Goodfellow. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those guys here, as well as the Houston guys. Laughlin, Shane Buss from Laughlin Air Force Base out in Del Rio. And I was hoping to get some of the Fort Hood guys up here, but it looks like they weren't able to make it. But we do have, Fort Hood is one of our newest chapters, so they're really trying to get established in the clean area. And as they mentioned earlier, we have a lot of riders at Fort Hood. I've done the Phantom Thunder Motorcycle Rally with them and had over 2,000 riders out there. So another thing I want to point out with these, as you see, is we're not denominational as far as the branch of service. We do have Air Force, we do have these organizations on naval bases, joint reserve bases. We're out there specifically for DoD riders. We're not specific to one branch of the military. If anybody would like some information about our organizations, these are our 2 websites, and I know Patty said these will be available at a later time. Specific to the Texas chapters, Texas Green Knights, TexasGreenKnights.org. If you go to that website, it has a link to each and every chapter, as well as contacts for the members of those chapters. And then, of course, our international website is GreenKnightsMMC.org. Does anybody have any questions about who we are or what we do? Yes, ma'am.
How does this interface with any other safety focus on motorcycles on the various bases?
Basically, what we do is we work through our safety offices on base. Anytime that they are looking for any information as to, I know some of our guys are looking at helping with TxDOT and possibly there are other states they've worked at, to build stuff into their own local organizations, not just the military, as far as looking for safe riders. We also fight for riders' rights as far as inside the military. There are certain requirements that the military requires as far as members to wear, not always required in the civilian side, so we try and balance those off of how they match the state law. For example, a lot of states require a DOT helmet. Not all states require brightly colored during the daytime, whereas the military, for the most part, does. It just varies dependent on that, and we'll actually work with the individual branches because some have slightly different requirements. For example, I believe the Air Force is the only one that still has the brightly colored as opposed to the rest of the branches. So we're working with those individually and then with the organizations off base as well. Yes, ma'am.
Like you said, the Green Knights in the H20 area are working with UC now.
There you go.
They're part of the safety and awareness program in our area.
The 110 percenters out of Fort Hood, they're helping out.
Just joined us in helping out.
Will you have a meeting soon, or do you have state meetings?
Generally, we have a meet and greet every October. It's Columbus Day weekend. In fact, yeah, this is what this photo is from. This is our last one in Burnett. Thank you, Tony. This is our last one in Burnett, or Burnett, wherever you guys are from in Texas. Burnett. I'm from Arizona. I don't speak Texas. Okay. And we had all of our chapters there. I think every single one made a showing, and we even had somebody from Louisiana this year. But it varies where it's at each year. I don't believe it's been fully planned next year, but I can keep everybody in the loop with that. And then we also have an International Officers Conference. This year it's going to be in Phoenix in April, and we also have what we known as we call the Knights of the Round Table, which is a competition, fun gathering between the Green Knights, Blue Knights, and Red Knights every year. This year it will be in Charleston, South Carolina. So we do work out in and around everywhere. So.